Well, hello there, you amazing, amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. This is video 2 of 3. That's it. 2 of 3. And if you're up for one-to-one French lessons, please let me know down below and I'll sort it out. Anyway, in this video, what are we talking about? We're talking about Idaho 4. You're looking absolutely amazing, I must add. And look, if you've been following the Idaho 4 case, one thing that will have driven you insane is the gag order. Yes, there has been a gag that's more gaggy than a gag thing. It's been all the way through. I think originally it may have been Ann Taylor who sort of triggered it alongside the prosecution, but it's got out of hand, and in my opinion, it's been weaponized. In all of these things that have been hidden from the public have enabled media such as Nancy Disgrace and Coffin Dodger and the like, and Buttfield. They've all been able to push stories that would have everybody believing that Bryan Kohberger is not only guilty of the crime before his trial, but he deserves to be executed right now. Skip the trial, exit stage left. But look, Judge Hippler has finally laid the smackdown, as he has turned around and basically said,
"No, this is not happening anymore. We're actually going to do things properly. If you actually want to gag something, then you're going to tell me exactly why it's going to be gagged. We're not just going to have you just think that it's normality now to just gag an entire document for no reason."
Thank you, Judge Hippler. Thank you. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, and we're going to look into what he actually said in a second, alongside an example of how that's going to work moving forward. Now, is it going to affect everything that's been gagged in the past? I feel that's a little bit like closing the stable door after the horse has already bolted. But look, this is a move in the right direction, even though what could possibly come out between now and the trial that could make a massive dent in the damage that's already been caused by the aforementioned gag order. Who knows? If you feel that there is things that could benefit from this now, then do let me know down below. Because look, I'm just a lowly YouTube person who talks about crime and gives you my opinion. But anyway, let's have a look at these docs. First of all, let's look at this one, which is the doc itself that says the party's pervasive practice of filing material under seal in this case has become the norm rather than the exception. Rather than seeking to redact discrete sensitive information, entire documents are filed under seal. In addition, much of the material the parties seek to seal is already in the public domain, or is simply not confidential or sensitive. This approach runs counter to the public's First Amendment rights to know what is going on in its courts. State versus Clapp, and it's going to give you this here. Consequently, the court will look with scrutiny on requests to seal documents simply because they purportedly contain facts that are not public, but that nevertheless will likely come into evidence. The Idaho Supreme Court adopted ICAR 32 to define when public access to judicial records may be denied, including through the redaction and sealing of court records. To warrant sealing or redaction, the material must meet specific criteria set forth in ICAR 232I, so as to allow the court to make the findings necessary to justify its decision to withdraw the material from the public purview. Moving forward, the court will require the parties to adhere closely to this rule and only seek to seal and or redact material as provided thereunder. In addition, all proposed orders to seal or redact must specify the basis under ICAR 32 I3A blah 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 for which the sealing or redaction is warranted. A bare citation to the rule or conclusory summary without an individualized, rigorous factual and legal analysis of the basis for seeking to have documents sealed will result in me telling you to go and fuck yourself. Fair dues. There's a footnote here. Likewise, the party seeking to seal a document that contains the entirety of the information sought to be sealed in the title of the document is an exercise in futility, because the name of the document, which contains the sensitive information, once filed, is on the publicly available Register of Actions. Further, the parties must also seek the least restrictive method to protect information that should be or is exempt from disclosure. For example, which we're going to see in a second, despite the court's concerns being expressed previously, the state continues to seek broad orders sealing entire documents to protect the identity of individuals rather than simply using initials or requesting that a redacted version be made public that discloses only initials. Accordingly, the state's requests to seal filings writ whole are denied, except as otherwise noted regarding certain exhibits containing grand jury testimony or other exempt records. Rather, those filings have been redacted by the court to refer to certain individuals by initials or family members of the deceased victims by their name or of relationship, e.g. brother, rather than by name. The original filing will be sealed and the redacted versions will be made public. In addition, the court has redacted portions of defendants' filings that contain grand jury testimony, which takes us over to here, which says the court having before it the motion to file dependents motions in limine, number 5, RE inconclusive data, and motion in limine, number 14, RE statistical analysis under seal, are good case appearing now. Therefore, it is hereby ordered the defendant's motions in limine, number 5, inconclusive data, and motion in limine, 14. Statistical analysis shall be sealed pursuant to ICAR 32I and blah, blah, blah. And it basically says here, it's because it includes grand jury testimonies which are exempt from disclosure. There you go. He wrote it in hieroglyphics, but luckily I am an Egyptologist and I am fluent in hieroglyphics. And if you need anything to be read in hieroglyphics, please do send it. I have extensive knowledge. So look, the gag order, the gaggedy gag order is being ungagged. This is the great ungagging of the documentation. Will it make a massive difference? I don't know, because what else can be coming? The damage has already been done. Like I say, it's closing the stable door after the horse has bolted. The gag order, in my opinion, has been vastly weaponized by the media. It's allowed people to speculate, accumulate lots of information that they've pushed out into the ether to make Bryan Kohberger not only look guilty, but there is an army. There's an army of people who want to see him executed post haste. Don't worry about the trial. Get it done. We're just delaying inevitability. We're even seeing people wearing T-shirts appertaining to it. And we're seeing people who basically say they're not going to take their foot off the gas. I don't know what that means, but in my opinion, it looks like what they mean is they're going to be out in the public and talking to people and making sure that their opinion is known. We've even heard Steve Gonsalves himself lay claim to interviewing potential jurors. I don't know how that's legal, but apparently it is. Maybe it's only because they're potential and not actual. Everybody could potentially be a juror at some point. I get it. But look, what do you think? What do you think of this? Is this a move in the right direction, or is it a little bit too little, a little bit too late? But look, it is what it is. It's done. Gag order. Do your job properly. It's like when you're at school and you can't just write the answer. You've got to show your workings out. If you want something gagged, tell us why. Do it properly. If you want a whole document gagged because Dave Smith is in it, then just get rid of Dave Smith's name and let the public see what's going on. This is how it should have been from the start. But at least Judge Hitler isn't doing what Judge John Judge did, and that is sit there smirking and laughing every time Ann Taylor spoke. Love you all, and I will catch you all later on tonight in the live. Mwah.